Welcome back to the NFL Draft Bible Player Spotlight Show presented by the NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com. Follow on Twitter at NFL Draft Bible. I am your host, Chris Shanafelt, and I am now joined by former Missouri State linebacker and one of the newest members of the Houston Texans, Dylan Cole. And Dylan, we really appreciate you taking the time to chat this evening. This weekend, you'll get a start to your NFL career by taking part in rookie minicamp. How excited are you to put on that Texans uniform for the very first time?
I'm absolutely excited, man. It's absolutely a dream come true. It's gonna be really surreal when I finally get to put that jersey on, the helmet on, and get out there and practice with the guys, and I get to call myself a Houston Texan. It's huge.
Now take us through what draft weekend was like for you, Dylan. I mean, you trained so hard for months getting ready for your pro day. You absolutely killed that. And then it's pretty much like a waiting game. I mean, did you expect to hear your name called at some point in the draft? And when you didn't, how did you and your agent decide that Houston would be the best landing spot for you?
So yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, I worked my tail off for that pro day. Did that, and then that waiting game, it felt like forever. I mean, I've been waiting forever just to get to this spot, and then to finally get there with like 2 days left, I felt like those 2 days took the same amount of time that it took since I was 5 saying I was going to go to the NFL. So, speaking of patience, you got to have those. So, I was definitely expecting to hear my name called in the draft, and it was kind of bittersweet at the same time. I was a little disappointed, but I know it's part of it. The draft is unpredictable. The teams don't know exactly what they're going to do, and I was talking to teams starting in the 4th round, just talking back and forth, seeing what they're thinking. They're really liking me. People are fighting for me, and at the end of the day, it just didn't happen. So it's just part of it. Like I said, the draft's very unpredictable. The teams don't even really know what they're going to do. But me and my agent were talking throughout the draft, and we really already have teams have their big boards. Well, we had our big board, and we had quite a few teams on it, and the Texans were definitely towards the top, and they really liked me. They didn't have too many picks in the draft, so I was really hoping that I got the opportunity to go there. And by the time the 6th round was over, I was like, man, you know what? I really want to go undrafted so I can just head over to Houston, because I knew they were going to take that center. We had been talking about it. So, so I was, and then, there's other teams that get involved and other teams that really like me, throwing some big numbers at me. But ultimately, it's what what me and my agent thought was, what's the best fit for me, because right now I'm not looking for big money right now, because the big money right now that they're throwing at me is nothing to compare to what I'm going to have when my future, whatever my future entails.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, and you're not the first person I've heard say that, once it comes around the 6th, maybe late 5th round, that you're kind of hoping to just go undrafted, because then you have a lot more choices. I mean, especially for you, I got to think there were many teams, like you said, that were interested in you. So then you're able to kind of make that decision on your own, and that's exactly what you did by choosing the Houston Texans. Now, a minute ago you said that, this has always been your dream to play in the NFL. You've been saying it since you were 5 years old that one day you're going to get there. Well, not too many from Missouri State make it to the NFL. I believe there's one guy on an active roster from last year that was from Missouri State, and that's tight end Gannon Sinclair, now at the Jacksonville Jaguars. When did it become more clear to you when you were in college that you had a legit shot to make it to the pros?
Going into college, I thought, I was kind of under-recruited, so that was really discouraging for me. But I just kind of stuck to what I knew, and I was working extremely hard, and just going to work every day. So getting into college, freshman year, I felt like, man, I gotta catch up. I feel like I'm undersized. So I just worked my tail off, chose the red shirt that year, and then by my freshman year, played pretty well. And I think, honestly, my sophomore year, Had a great game against Oklahoma State. I remember, and I felt like that put me on the map, and I think from there, it gave me more confidence. Like, man, I can really actually play at this level. I don't have to play. I'm not just an FCS player. I'm a college football player that can make it to the next level, and that's kind of one of those things. You play well against FBS teams. It really boosts your confidence, especially as an FCS player.
Oh, without a doubt, I can only imagine. Now, of course, going back to your pro day, Dylan, for those who are unfamiliar with it, you ran a 4.52 40-yard dash. You were able to pump out 32 reps of 225 pounds on the bench. You had a 39-inch vertical. You leaped 10 feet 5 inches in the broad jump. I mean, again, it was just an absolutely amazing workout to see somebody put up those type of numbers at the linebacker position, especially. So again, congrats on that. Now, of course, you are joining a team in the Texans who really their specialty over the past few years have been their defense, led by J.J. Watt. They have guys like the former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, Whitney Merciless, inside linebackers such as Brian Cushing, Bernardic McKinney, and they drafted Zach Cunningham out of Vanderbilt. I mean, how eager are you to come in and learn from those guys, and what do you feel you're going to need to do to make that final roster come September?
Yeah, I mean, you said it all. I mean, I was getting excited as you were saying it. So much knowledge, so many people that's been in the game for a long time and know the ropes in the NFL and know it very well, and especially on a defensive perspective. And I'm absolutely excited to start trying to pick their brains, annoy the hell out of them, and do whatever I can to make the team. And I think what that looks like, honestly, is because I think as an undrafted, all they're expecting out of me is, especially as a linebacker, is to impact special teams to the most. So I'm definitely going to embrace that role. But I think I'm a very smart and very football savvy guy, where I think I can learn those plays pretty quickly. And if I learn those plays, play fast, play strong, play physical, God knows what's going to happen. I feel like I can push for a starting job, honestly, in that first season.
And, of course, the knowledge doesn't stop there. You're going into a great coaching staff as well with, Bill O'Brien being the head guy over there with the Texans, and then a couple great defensive gurus, and Romeo Crennel and Mike Vrabel. Have you had any contact with any of those guys yet since you signed that dotted line?
Yeah, I talked to all the way to the head guy there, Coach O'Brien. Talked to him in that 7th round of the draft. Great dude. He was really excited about me, and it made the decision so much more easy. But I would say, yeah, I talked to Mike Vrabel a lot, Coach Vrabel. He's very up on me and very excited to start coaching me. So I'm excited. He knows the game very well. He's played a long time. He played a long time, and and he's had a lot of success. So those linebackers aren't good for no reason over there in Texas. So I'm excited to be a part of it, and like you said, just absorb as much knowledge as I can while I'm there.
Now, for those who may not be too familiar with your game, Dylan, how exactly would you describe your overall style of play?
For me, I feel like I am a very fast player. I'm a very prepared player. So, like I said, I ran a 4.5 at my pro day, but honestly, if you put that on the field and you don't know what you're doing, then you can't play that fast. So I'm a film guy. I really get in the film room and make sure I study the game and study whoever we're playing, so I can have a beat on what they're going to do, so I can play with that 4.5 speed. And I think that's probably my biggest strength is that, like I said, I'm a film guy. You're not football savvy for no reason. So if you're prepared, then you can show off your athleticism. Your athleticism doesn't show off if you're not prepared.
This past season, your senior year, you racked up 141 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 3 fumbles, and 2 interceptions. I remember I was able to catch 2 of those games, one against North Dakota State and the other against Southern Illinois. And, I mean, you were everywhere, flying everywhere on the field. It was hard to miss you. But since you've been at Missouri State, though, Dylan, you guys never finished with a winning record. You guys were 4-7 this past year. How were you able to stay focused and stay motivated and keep your teammates motivated and focused those last few games of the season, knowing that you guys were already out of the playoff chase?
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty difficult thing to do. When you're playing a game, you always want to win. That's the competitive part of you. But I think at the end of the day, you gotta put yourself. Even if you lose that week before, you gotta forget about it. This is a quick turnaround. You gotta play the next week, and you gotta play to win. So we never went into a game thinking, man, what if? It's, hey, we got to win this game. What can we do to win this game? And we're all competitive, and we always want to win. So it's, you don't have to encourage me to want to win. You don't have to encourage me to want to play football. That I love this game, and it's either work 9 to 5 at a desk or play football. God knows I would rather play football for the rest of my life if that's my two choices. So. It's not one of those things. I can be discouraged for an hour, but at the end of the day, you're playing football. It's still fun, regardless of the outcome. It sucks. It sucks losing. It's a lot more fun winning, but you're still playing football at the end of the day.
Again, he's the newest member of the Houston Texans, linebacker, and one hell of an athlete out of Missouri State, Dylan Cole, here on the NFL Draft Bible Players Spotlight Show. Dylan, just a few more questions for you, and then we'll let you run. How would you describe your overall experience at Missouri State, and what's a highlighted moment from your Bears career that you'll never forget?
I think my time at Missouri State. It's one of those things like you said, you never had a winning season, but I would never take anything back. The education, the football, all of it was great. Didn't get to win very often, but it was so good. And Missouri State's a home to me, and it always will be. It's just a part of me. So I wouldn't take anything back. It's just part of me. What was that second question there?
A highlighted moment. What's one moment throughout your, and it doesn't even really need to be football related. What's one moment throughout the past 4 or 5 years that you'll never forget during your time at Missouri State?
I would say I think it was right before my last game. It was a senior game, last game playing Youngstown, but it was right before the game. When I got to come out, they announced my name. They're announcing all the seniors' names. I get to run through the tunnel and see my family out there, and I get to hug them and just enjoy that moment with them because, at the end of the day, I'm a family guy, and it's one of those things tears are in my eyes, and just the potential of me not being able to play football again, but having family right there, it was such a good moment for me and great for my family too.
That's awesome. Yeah, like you said, it's your last game of your collegiate career, and at that point, you don't know what's next. Of course, you would hope that the NFL or some pro opportunity would come your way, but you never know until that moment actually comes. And of course, that moment did come just a couple of weeks ago. You signed with the Houston Texans as an undrafted free agent. Now, being at Missouri State, you're playing in the Missouri Valley Football Conference, the toughest conference in all of the FCS. Who would you say is the best player you've lined up against over the past 4 years?
That's definitely hard. I lined up against David Johnson, my redshirt freshman, maybe sophomore year. He was definitely fun to tackle, great competitor, and he ran the ball really hard, and he was definitely fun to play against. And also this up and coming guy here, the tight end over in South Dakota State. I respect him a lot. He's got a great game. I think his name's Dallas.
Dallas.
I remember. Yep. Yeah, he's one hell of a player. I think we'll see him in the next year's draft, and if he keeps continuing to do what he's doing, and he's a really good player. I didn't get to line up and go at him as much as I did David Johnson, but you can just tell who's a really good player when you're playing on the football field.
And if all goes if all goes planned, Dylan, you'll be seeing David Johnson once again November 19th, Week 11, as the Houston Texans play the Arizona Cardinals. Final question for you. Really appreciate you taking the time this evening, Dylan. What kind of advice would you give to other small school football players, other FCS football players that find themselves in a similar situation that you were in heading into their senior year in hopes to achieving the NFL dream?
Yeah, I'd say what everybody else is telling me, all the coaches, all the scouts, all the GMs, all the NFL personnel. When you get here, it doesn't matter where you came from, who you are, how your breath smells. If you can help us win a championship, then we'll take you. So, yeah, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I came from a losing program, but they see your potential, they see your talent, and it does not go unnoticed. The NFL will not look over someone that has talent. So if you believe in yourself and keep at what you've been doing and work hard, the NFL will take notice, and your opportunity is right in front of you.
Hey, it's proven every year, and of course it's just proven this past year when the Houston Texans signed you to an undrafted free agent deal following the draft. Dylan, really do appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule to chat with us. I'll tell you what, man, you got a lot of people, at least in myself, from Chicago, and I'm sure all around the country that's going to be rooting for you and certainly keeping tabs on you. Safe travels down to Houston this weekend, and best of luck in rookie minicamp, man.
I do appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Dylan. Really appreciate it. I'll have this up first thing in the morning.
All right, sounds good. I appreciate it.
All right, take care.